Now, SABC COO Ian Plaatjies has held a meeting on how the public broadcaster will adapt to the fourth industrial revolution and what impact this will have on people and jobs. Now, the meeting of CEOs and COOs looked at ways to demystify 4IR. He says the SABC is making inroads to become a whole lot more digital. Plaatjies spoke to our SABC journalist Molemo-waOne Mothoa in Pretoria.
When you talk 4IR, different people have different views of what that means, and hence the topic demystifying what that really means. If we bring it closer to home, SABC, if we talk about 4IR within our business, some people will think you're talking about digitizing radio. And even in the radio space, you can break it down further in terms of people having different views. Some might have the view it means digitizing television. Others might have the view that it means streaming or OTT services. And people have different views of the concept. If we speak to our end user, they might have the view in terms of it means HD quality. Others might mean or think that it means additional programs and channels and content. Our clients would have a different view of it. For them, it would be probably different pricing models or collaboration in terms of data or target segmentations. So it was important for us to demystify what 4IR means in the South African context, but certainly my presentation was in terms of what it meant for SABC.
How does business come to the party in terms of bridging the digital divide in a very unequal society?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So, you would have heard from the President's SONA address yesterday that 4IR is a big topic for him and an important one. And a component of that is a reduction in the cost of data. Now, we know that the penetration of fiber to the home is very low, and the projections remains low for the future as well. So we have to have an alternative, and that is lower data costs, basically. The President has also announced that 5G is a critical spectrum that needs to be released as soon as possible. Now, analog is preventing that from occurring. And so the sooner we can move off analog, the sooner we can release that spectrum. And certainly with that comes a reduction in data costs as well.
How would you then characterize the engagements between yourselves?
So, yeah, if we look at the relationship between ourselves and them, we've got 4.5 million subscribers out there, audiences out there, that is not on digital TV. Okay, it's a huge amount, and it does have an impact on their ability to obviously consume content. We've got about 500,000 audiences out there that has been rolled out on DTT. If we look at that 4.5 million, they are not reached by the satellite service providers because they can't afford that service. And we have a moral obligation to meeting their demands as well and providing them with a digital service as well. And obviously the quickest way of doing that is a satellite solution. We've got to find ways of providing a low-cost solution to them. There's many others, millions of other South Africans that have paid satellite solutions, but they can't really afford it. But they have it because they don't have alternatives and options. And we have a moral obligation to meet their needs as well and provide them with low-cost satellite solutions.
I would assume that's the role the SABC has in such engagements.
Most definitely, that is. However, within our mandate, we're not responsible for rolling out the set-top boxes, but that is a key component for us to enable us to be able to provide a digital service, whether that is terrestrial or via satellite. But we remain very committed to work with any party to assist them to come up with creative and innovative ways of actually solving this challenge.
How do your efforts in this regard complement our mandate of public broadcasting?
It's 100%, but you know what? The public mandate for public broadcasting is a given. It's not negotiable. But for us, it's more than just that. It's way beyond that. It's making sure that through a digital service, we are actually financially sustainable as an organization. It's about the moral regeneration within our country. It's providing our end users, our people out there in the townships, our people out there in the furthest remote villages with options, with better quality content, certainly, but also with HD services and things like that as well.
And how do these initiatives ultimately involve an impact on ordinary people in our country?
Yeah, so the way it impacts on ordinary people out there is there's nobody's lives that is not impacted through digitization. 4IR reaches everybody. It is imperative that we find collaborative ways of working with other partners to provide lower cost solutions to our consumers out there. We are working with telcos, for example, in terms of how we can collaborate and provide data, and they can zero rate the cost of data or reduce the cost of data and provide our consumers out there with the necessary information. When I say information, I'm using it very broadly, whether that is health information, whether it is religious, whether it is sport or other forms of entertainment in soapies or drama. So to provide them with information at the right time and as and when they need it, and in the way that they want to consume it as well.
And as the public broadcaster, how then do you get them involved as well?
Where we're going to with digitization is to have interactive mediums as well, so we can actually hear from our end user audiences as well in the real time. That's what digital enables. It's a two-way communication. That's the disadvantage with analog. It's one way. With digital, we have the abilities of two-way communication, and we'll hear from our audiences in terms of what they want, how they perceive us, but more importantly, we'll also have that collaborative relationship with our clients as well, to hear how they want to engage with us differently as well.
Now, the US government added fresh charges to its criminal case against Chinese smartphone maker Huawei. The new indictment